Are you ignoring the biggest red flag in your relationship? It's time to stop waiting, start acting, and make the decision that will change everything. 1. The relationship feels like a burden. Have you ever felt your relationship is more exhausting than fulfilling? If you're constantly drained, it's a huge red flag. A healthy relationship should uplift, not weigh you down. If you feel relieved when your partner isn't around, it's time to reconsider. This could be a sign that the emotional connection is fading or never truly existed. Ask yourself if staying in this relationship is out of comfort, fear, or true love. When you dread spending time together, it's a strong sign things won't last. Don't ignore the emotional toll it's taking on you. Neglecting your emotional health could have long-term effects. Pay attention to your energy levels around your partner. A relationship should feel like a safe, happy space. If it doesn't, ask yourself why you're still in it. Ending it now might feel hard, but dragging it out is much harder. Don't settle for emotional exhaustion when you deserve peace and joy. 2. Constant fighting with no resolution. Do you feel like you're always fighting without getting anywhere? Constant conflict without resolution is a relationship killer. Healthy arguments help couples grow, but unresolved fights do the opposite. When arguments become circular, with no effort to resolve them, it's a sign things won't last. If every disagreement feels like it's pulling you apart rather than bringing you closer, it's time to evaluate. Fighting is normal, but if it's constant and unhealthy, it drains emotional energy. Pay attention to whether your arguments lead to productive changes. If not, the relationship might be beyond repair. It's not just the frequency of fights but how they're handled. Emotional battles without resolution can deeply affect your mental health. Is it worth staying if peace never follows conflict? If your partner isn't willing to work through problems, it's time to move on. Don't let unresolved fights define your relationship. You deserve more than endless conflict. 3. Lack of emotional intimacy. Have you noticed an emotional disconnect with your partner? Emotional intimacy is the foundation of any strong relationship. If it's missing, the relationship will struggle to survive. When emotional closeness fades, everything else starts to crumble. Without it, even physical attraction or common interests can't sustain a connection. Do you feel like your partner isn't emotionally present? Emotional intimacy requires vulnerability, trust, and communication. If you're not sharing deep thoughts and feelings, you're living parallel lives. Ask yourself if you feel seen and understood in your relationship. Without emotional connection, you're merely coexisting, and that's not sustainable. If your emotional needs aren't being met, it's time to reevaluate your relationship. Don't ignore the signs of emotional distance, they'll only grow. Ending it now could save both of you from future heartache. You deserve someone who wants to know your heart, not just your surface. Emotional intimacy is non-negotiable for long-term happiness. 4. You feel unappreciated. Do you often feel taken for granted? Feeling unappreciated can be deeply hurtful in any relationship. If your efforts go unnoticed or undervalued, it's a sign something's wrong. You should feel cherished, not overlooked. When appreciation fades, resentment grows. Ask yourself how often your partner acknowledges your efforts, big or small. It's not about grand gestures, but the small, everyday acts of gratitude. Do you feel like your contributions don't matter? Relationships require mutual appreciation and respect to thrive. If one partner is giving without recognition, it creates an imbalance. Don't settle for being taken for granted. You deserve to be with someone who values everything you bring to the relationship. Feeling unappreciated can erode your self-esteem and happiness. If your partner doesn't make you feel valued, consider if this is the right relationship. Don't ignore the feelings of unappreciation. They often indicate deeper problems that won't resolve themselves. 5. Avoiding conversations about the future. Does your partner shy away from discussing your future together? If they consistently avoid future planning, it's a major red flag. A partner who is serious about the relationship should be comfortable discussing long-term goals. Avoiding these conversations may indicate they aren't committed for the long haul. Pay attention if they dodge talks about marriage, kids, or even shared future experiences. If there's no vision for the future, the relationship is on shaky ground. Future planning is about more than just logistics. It shows investment in your shared life. If your partner avoids it, they may be uncertain or unwilling to commit. Is this someone you can build a future with? If not, it's time to reconsider. Don't waste your time on someone who isn't thinking long-term. You deserve clarity, not confusion. Don't settle for someone who's only living in the present without considering the future. 6. No shared goals or values. Do you and your partner align on major life goals? If not, it's a critical issue. Relationships built on differing values are destined to struggle. Shared goals and values are what keep a relationship grounded and focused. If your partner has different priorities, it can cause major problems down the road. Ask yourself if your long-term visions match. Whether it's about career, family, or lifestyle, alignment is crucial. Conflicting values can lead to resentment, frustration, and eventual breakup. Are your future plans compatible with your partner's? It's not just about love, it's about a shared life vision. A lack of alignment often means more disagreements and dissatisfaction over time. Don't ignore the importance of shared goals. This issue won't go away and will only cause more pain. A relationship built on misaligned values won't stand the test of time. Don't compromise on core beliefs just to make it work. 7. One-sided effort. Does it feel like you're the only one putting in effort? A one-sided relationship is unsustainable. Healthy relationships require mutual effort, not just one person carrying the load. When the balance is off, it leads to frustration and exhaustion. If you feel like you're always initiating, planning, or compromising, that's a bad sign. Relationships should feel like a team effort, not a solo mission. Ask yourself if your partner is equally invested in making things work. If not, it's a clear sign things aren't going to last. A one-sided relationship breeds resentment, and that's a recipe for failure. Don't be the only one fighting for the relationship's survival. You deserve someone who meets you halfway. If the effort isn't balanced, it's better to walk away now. Don't wait for them to change. This imbalance rarely fixes itself. You deserve an equal partnership, not a lopsided one. 8. Feeling trapped. Do you feel stuck in your relationship? Feeling trapped is a serious warning sign. You should feel free, not confined, in a healthy relationship. If staying feels more like an obligation than a choice, it's time to reevaluate. Feeling trapped often stems from fear of being alone or starting over. But staying for the wrong reasons will only lead to more pain. Ask yourself if you're staying out of love or fear. If it's fear, that's a clear indicator things need to end. A healthy relationship allows both partners to grow and feel empowered. Feeling confined means something is fundamentally wrong. Don't let fear keep you in a relationship that's not right for you. You deserve the freedom to thrive, not just survive. If the relationship feels like a cage, it's time to break free. Don't wait for things to get worse. Trust that leaving now will bring future happiness. 9. Lack of trust. Do you constantly question your partner's intentions? Trust is the cornerstone of any lasting relationship. Without it, everything else crumbles. If you're always second-guessing their actions or questioning their honesty, that's a serious issue. A lack of trust erodes emotional security and creates tension. Ask yourself if you can truly rely on your partner. If you can't, it's a sign things won't last. Trust issues don't just disappear with time, they often worsen. A relationship without trust is like building a house on sand, it won't stand. Don't ignore red flags related to trust. You deserve a relationship where trust is never questioned. If trust isn't there, nothing else will hold the relationship together. Don't settle for a relationship built on shaky ground. Trust is essential for long-term happiness and stability. Without it, the relationship is doomed to fail. 10. Feeling like you've outgrown the relationship. Do you feel like you've evolved, but your relationship hasn't? Growth is a natural part of life. If one partner grows while the other stays stagnant, problems arise. Feeling like you've outgrown a relationship is a common reason for breakups. Ask yourself if your partner is growing with you or holding you back. Relationships should encourage personal growth, not hinder it. If you feel stuck or limited, it's a sign the relationship isn't right anymore. Don't ignore the feeling of stagnation, it often means you're ready for something more. Personal growth should be celebrated and supported, not suppressed. If your partner isn't evolving with you, it's time to reevaluate. Outgrowing a relationship doesn't mean you failed, it means you're ready for new challenges. Don't stay in a relationship that keeps you from reaching your full potential. You deserve someone who grows with you, not someone who holds you back. Check out this playlist of the top 10 videos on relationship advice for women, and we'll see you in the next video. With love.